Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. Laura, you're right there.
What is going on?
You're here.
You're here.
And I'm here.
This is my setup. You're here.
I am here. Yeah, this is correct. Welcome to Chit Chat and Chapters in the same room. Ooh, crazy. Don't get used to it. But
no, this is like a 10th episode special.
Oh yeah, man, how about that? So, happened to have some good circumstances. Lauren and I could be in the same room for this episode, our 10th episode. Feels kind of crazy that we're 10 episodes deep at this point. That's a lot of reading.
It's a lot of reading.
It's a lot of reading to talk about.
That's that too. Yeah. It's really funny. I was thinking about it though, because like in college, we did everything together. If it wasn't a group project, we made it a group project.
Yeah.
And this is the longest iteration of any of your and I's random tangents that was actually like stuck.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting too.
It is. The problem with the other ones was the other people.
That's totally fair.
100%. You know, because do you remember
Moon Village
Productions. Yeah, that's exactly.
I still come across those videos every once in a while in the depths of my Google Drive.
If you're watching this on YouTube, put in Moon Village Productions and see if something comes up.
It's a good goofy little time.
Yeah,
that made it 3 episodes.
Oh, maybe. All I know is I got absolutely trashed on Budweiser Heavy one time, and golly, college was a wild time.
Yeah. Us and Lauren had fun.
Yeah, we did. It was a good time. But, so, Chit Chat and Chapters, here and now. The books, the conversations that are happening in 2026.
Absolutely.
What have you finished this week?
I finished 2 books, and took a page out of Austin's book and have been doing better about checking out my local library.
Hey, all right.
But I do it on Libby. So I have the Overdrive on there, and I finished When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and it's like definitely rom-com-y. Famous singer comes to small town, a la Roman Getaway, Roman Vacation, Roman something from Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, okay.
That movie, Roman Holiday. It's very like it's a retelling of that kind of thing, except it's in Rome, Kentucky. Because she's a country singer, and that's the closest Rome she could get to.
Nice, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it was very cute. It's a light spice kind of book. Nothing overly crazy, but there's now 4 of them.
Oh.
And so my goal is to get them all through the library. I'm now currently reading the second one, but the first one was very cute and got it through the library. And so I think I rated that like a 3.5.
Okay.
Because it was just a fun time. It was just, good goofy little read. And then I have been trying really hard to keep up on my nonfiction. So I did finish Wise's by Gary John Bishop.
Okay.
He also does the Un-F Yourself. And
I heard a lot about these books.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy them.
Okay.
I liked the first one better. This one kind of goes into like the mindset of, the things that bring you down and how you look at like success can be a real burden if you let it, but also so can like I guess it's based off of like the setbacks in life. So it's like it's loss of a loved one versus loss of a job. Mm-hmm. It's success, but not like, oh, now I have it all. It's success of like not getting things the way that you thought you wanted it.
Yeah.
And those types of mindsets, which I think is really interesting, and honestly was a really good time to be reading that right now, where I am in this flux state of things.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I also like, if I'm going to read a self-help book, I do want it to curse at me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is You Are a Badass.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna teach me self-help, I need you to cuss at me.
Call me. Never mind. Nope, we're not going there.
No. But
do you have an iPhone charger in here? Because Liz has done something to my phone. And it's fine. We don't have one, but every time I plug it in now, it says harder daddy. Every single time I plug it in. And I don't know how to change it. I don't know if I want to change it. But last night, she's just like, hey, can I have your phone? And I give it to her because, of course. And she just is giggling. I'm like, what is happening? And so she was like, don't worry. It's not going to send anything to anyone else, but you will find out what I did by the end of the night. I was like, okay, I'm looking at like alarms and everything.
Right.
I go to plug in and all I hear is daddy. And I'm like, wait, what? Harder, daddy. No.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
But
So
yeah, 2 books done.
great. Fantastic. Two books done. Very good.
Yep. A little bit slower start to the month than I would have liked.
Yeah.
But I think being home, I just have so many other little things to keep me busy throughout my day.
Sure.
Where like before I'd work and then I would come home and read to decompress.
Yeah.
Where now I don't have that kind of like, I'm still really trying to figure out a routine.
Mhm.
So I just don't pick up a book as much.
Yeah, there isn't as much to decompress from
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
So, trying to find something to compress you.
Right. When it's my own home, also don't really want
Don't want that. Don't want that. That's a
So-
tough balance to find.
Yeah.
So I can totally see
Interesting.
why maybe the reading has slowed a bit.
Yeah.
But, it'll pick back up.
It's still early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still really early. As for books that I have finished, I finished the long-awaited, the 18th book in the Harry Dresden series. First audiobook I have ever actually bought. 12 Months by Jim Butcher, and
Do you have to go stare at a wall for a while?
it's so good. And like, cause like, so last year my favorite book was Skin Game. And I loved that book for totally different reasons than I love this book.
I love that.
Jim, my boy, went through some stuff, because very clearly he would. So I'm gonna spoil a lot of things real quick. Spoiler, blah blah blah. Blah. In the last book, in the 17th book, Murphy, who has been the longtime sidekick and sometimes somewhat love interest, like in the last book, fully became the love interest, is killed. And this is Harry Dresden going through 12 months of recovery, basically. Recovery from a war that happened on Chicago and from losing Murphy. And there's a part in the book, there's a whole thing about shades of people, the ghosts, and how they aren't really the person, but they have all the memories of that person. And they kind of figure out that, like, I'm not actually this person. I'm this fey creature that has come from this thing happening. And he summons her every single night and plays Monopoly with her, because he's a wizard. He knows how to, and he just can't let go. And it's like, oh, it's so heartbreaking, and like it's so emotionally driven, that you just can't help yourself, because it just, like the first line in this book is like pain is, it's like
Good.
super
Good.
heavy.
Yep, good.
And
that's how I want my books to start.
Yeah. But the very interesting thing about this is, I had mentioned that this feels like maybe a penultimate book. Reading it, not so much.
Ooh.
Feels like this was a ramp back up.
Start of phase 2.
Yeah, very much so. It feels like I know who the final bad guy is. It's just a matter of,
You don't think we're getting there next book?
I don't think we're getting their next book. I think Harry Dresden needs to learn a whole lot more about this enemy, and about all of the things that he has the power to do, in order to actually, like, move into that final phase. So it's damn good. Oh, it was so good.
18 books. Let's make it like a 25.
Get to 25. Let's get to 25. I love Harry Dresden.
Nice.
He's such like, I resonate so much with Harry Dresden, because he is all of the things that Austin as a superhero would be. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he wants to do what's right, but he struggles with certain things, and at his core, he's trying to be a good person no matter what the situation
Yeah.
is. And that's hard.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you are given more and more power
Yeah.
to impact these things. So absolutely loved it. 5 stars, like true 5 stars. Might be book of the year for me.
That'd be wild to find book of the year in January.
I did it last year.
I know. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But then I also finished the fourth book of the Walt Longmire series.
Oh.
It's called Kindness Goes Unpunished. Number 3. This was fine, and it should have been better because
That's disappointing.
the main plot line is that Walt's daughter ends up in a coma. And
if that falls flat, that falls flat.
Yeah. And so I'm a dad. There's so many reasons why this should have resonated with me, and it just didn't. So I gave it 3 stars. It was fine.
Yep.
It was a story.
It was a book.
It was a book.
Oh, that's disappointing. Are you going to continue the series?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I really like this is another one where the audiobook and the narrator of the audiobook is actually probably the main reason why I'm moving forward with
I'm
it.
so fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm so fine with that. Like, that's actually one of my goals this year. I think I mentioned is like to do more audiobooks and stuff and to find some of those narrators that I'm like, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So
James Marsters for Harry Dresden, whoever the guy is for Walt Longmire, I need to figure
Tell Mary.
Oh, I haven't listened to it, but
it's so good. It's so good.
Wait, he's the guy that does Harry Potter, right? Yeah, absolutely. I would listen to him read the phone book to me.
Genuinely.
That's an aged reference. Goodness.
The phone
Hi, kids. I'm 30.
The phone book. Phil was going on a date when we were born.
That is correct. That is correct.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
But so those are the 2 books I finished. I'm currently reading. I realized that I'm the worst. Because I know I'm the worst because I go on this podcast and I say, I don't know what to read next. And then we both agree you should read
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
And I didn't. I instead
Sick, cool.
I instead went to my local library and I picked up The Magician of Tiger Castle by Louis Sakar, which is the guy who wrote Holes. And this is his first adult fiction novel.
Oh,
yeah,
well, that's adult. I would not have pegged that as
It's not very adult. It's pretty.
These little tiger bunny things are killing me.
Yeah, it's not super adult. It's pretty like
we just kind of stepped above.
Yeah, if anything, it's like going from high school to college is what it feels like, because the love story is still pretty childish. It's the story is about a wizard who is creating a potion to try and save the guy who had a fling with the princess, but she was betrothed to someone else, and so he's like going to be killed at the wedding because reasons.
Yep.
And so he's trying to create a potion to have him forget her, so that way everything is fine.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good so far. I'm like a third of the way through. It's a nice short read. It's quick. But I would not call this adult fiction. I would call this YA.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's not bad. It's just mislabeled.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Because in big letters, it's the beloved author of Holes presents his first adult novel, a modern fantasy classic of forbidden love, a crumbling kingdom, and the unexpected magic all around.
See, I'm really nervous because one of the books on my list for this year is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Okay. And she did the Caraval series. And then she did Once Upon a Broken Heart. It's a trilogy and a trilogy that are YA.
Okay.
Fantasy-esque type ones. and she did her first debut adult novel.
Okay.
And I've heard a lot of people saying that it's wonderful because people love her writing style.
Yeah.
But just like you said, that
Still
it
pretty
doesn't
gay.
she's supposed to be an adult in her 30s in New York, and she reads like a college, like an intro college, like a freshman in
Sure.
college.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit nervous about it. Like, I've heard that the story is still wonderful, and like I'm sure I will still enjoy it,
Yep.
but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of that same where it's like we took a little baby step and not like a
Yeah.
full dive into adult writing.
And as long as it's a good story, great.
Right.
We'll be fine.
Don't care.
That is fine.
I can picture her a little bit younger than maybe she's supposed to be and,
Sure.
and call it good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there are some people who act younger than what
Totally.
we think a
Yep.
30-year-old. So,
Yep.
you know, we can bend and twist and find whatever needs to happen.
It'll
So
be
it'll be fine. Good story is a good story.
Yep, exactly. Which then speaking of what I am reading,
Yeah.
I think I said this last time too because I have not gotten very far in it. I'm still doing play along.
Okay.
This is the baseball one. It's the brother of the one before it.
Mhm.
The fourth book in the series. I'm like now well over halfway through.
Mhm.
And
Are you annotating it?
yeah, I do.
Oh.
I don't like write in my books, but I'll tab them.
Okay.
Just cute things that I know, especially like with I love to annotate in interconnected standalone because I like to do, oh, here's the one that I know is from the next one, and here's my glimpses of my people from the past, and
Nice.
like all the little, I like to annotate the little interconnected pieces of it. I
Nice.
think is just really fun.
This is your red string on the board.
Yeah, very much.
Pepe Silvio.
Yeah, that's more how I annotate than like actually like, oh, because I know a lot of people annotate like this color is for this specific thing and this color is this thing.
Yeah.
I just pick colors that match the cover and do fun, cute little things with it.
Liz annotated one book,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you remember this guy from college. There was a guy from college that she was an RA with. His name, he's a published author, so I would say his name. I think it was self-published, but Alexander Laharyu. I don't know if that name rings
Oh,
a
that name
bell.
rings a bell.
Yeah, he was. You and I had an argument once, kind of with him, because his favorite movie of all time is The Other Guys.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So he wrote a book that I don't remember what it's called, but it's really bad. It's rough. It is not a good book. And Liz annotated, read the whole thing and annotated the whole thing because she was like, I need to be able to physically say how bad this book is. And then she gave it to her best friend at the time, and like they did it together and swapped notes to see how it went.
That's so rough.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, man. Your book's not great.
So rough.
I hope he has written more things and has gotten better.
Yes. If you can write one book, you can write another.
You write another.
Your skills will get better. Let's.
Well, his probably. There's another guy. Do you remember? Oh goodness, I'm running into so many memories. we don't have time for this on this podcast. But there's a guy who sells his books at the farmers market in Lincoln on Saturdays. And he has written a bunch of books that are like 700-page fantasy stories. And he's a great salesman because he pitched these two books to Liz and I, and they are some of the worst books.
So obviously you're in the wrong career because you're a better salesman than you are.
Yeah, 100%. Let me hold on. It's in my Goodreads.
That's hilarious.
Sort by rating.
You know it's bad when you just go worst rated. If I did that, I'd struggle.
The Majestics by James W. Berg. Bad, real bad.
700 pages.
Yeah, this book.
No,
This book is actually 634 pages, and it's the first of like a trilogy of like 700-page books.
Nope.
Published by 48hourbooks.com.
48hourbooks.com.
This truly was a book. The author's name is James Berg. The place where this takes place is Burgonia.
This is a college writing project turned into.
What do you think the main character's name is?
Jim.
No, Samaj. James backwards. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So, not great. I've had
Man.
bad luck. The only good local author I've read is Lynn Painter, so
Rainbow Rowell. I also love Rainbow Rowell.
haven't read any.
She's YA.
Okay.
I love her stuff.
Okay.
Love her stuff. Yeah, no, you just gotta stick to the ones that are professionally
Published?
Yeah, trad published.
There's no fun in that.
I don't know. Good books are fun. I like good books.
You're correct.
That's-
That
I don't
makes
know.
total sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm reading a good book.
Yeah, you're reading a good book.
Is
Yeah.
here. Love this.
How did I get on this side?
I don't freaking know because I didn't say anything negative about this.
Yeah.
book.
Oh, Liz annotated a book.
Oh yeah, the annotations.
Got it. We're back. We're
Yep.
so back. We never left.
Full circle.
Oh man.
Again, we only do this podcast because we don't talk enough. It's genuinely what this
Correct.
is.
Welcome in, friend. You're the friend who never talks.
Yep. Just getting to listen to us because we don't let you speak. Get a word in edgewise. Much like our significant others when we also get together.
Golly. The number of times that Liz and Ben just kind of looked at each other like,
Yeah. No, I now have to hang out with Liz by myself in order to get to talk to her. So but yeah. So I'm reading this.
Still reading that.
It's fantastic. I'm hopefully going to get to the next one right after because then I have that series wrapped up. I love it.
Right.
I am also reading / listening to, considering I'm trying to figure out my like audiobooks situation. Alton Brown's Food for Thought.
Very nice. Love Alton Brown.
I love Alton Brown, and he narrates the book.
Yeah,
obviously.
Mhm.
And it's so good. I'm like maybe a fourth of the way, a little bit more than a fourth of the way into this. And it's not an actual like, it's just essay. He even says essays and ruminations. So it's just little like memories as they pop into his head. It's not linear. It's not a full memoir of like start of life, end of life, whatever. It's literally just here's random things that pop into my
It's a
head.
Grace Helbig train of thought
It
video.
But it's like the most Alton Brown. Like I can't imagine him doing it any other way.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'm reading this book because like Good Eats was one of my favorite
That's what I'm
shows.
talking about.
Yes, I loved Good Eats, and listening to him talk, I'm like, I don't know why I enjoyed this so much because he goes in like the science behind the food and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was like 10, I'm like, I was glued to the TV, man. I loved him. So this is just a good time.
Yeah.
This is a good time. Good memoir. I'm having a great time.
I'll have to pick
currently.
that one up. That's awesome.
It's a fun one. And then last but not least on my Kindle, I'm doing the other next one from Libby. It's something about perfect, but it's the next one in the Rome, Kentucky
Gotcha.
series. So
Nice.
in the middle of 3 books, kind of bopping around.
I'll say this story very quickly because we got to get to our other stuff.
Yeah, we do.
I decided not to get a Kindle. And I know, like, you have been trying to get me to get a Kindle on here and off pod.
Oh, I've been all the avenues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Straight to Liz.
Yeah,
We went all the way.
Absolutely. And the reason why is because a Kindle right now is like $110.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Manageable. Okay. I have already spent at least 3 times that on physical books I haven't read. And so if I'm going to sit down and read a book, I should sit down and read one I already own. And then once I get through all those, then pick up the Kindle. And
That's fair.
yeah, because the whole pitch of like, it's a money saver because it connects to Libby and all that's
no, absolutely. It only
100%.
works if you actually use it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So that is
So
why I'm
basically,
not
the
buying.
lesson is that when I see that you picked up a library book, I'm gonna go back and read the books that you already own.
Just start beating me, harassing me over text message.
What book are you reading?
What are you doing?
What book are you reading?
Send me a
Let's get that
photo.
one. Yeah, send me a photo.
Does it have a Lincoln Public Library sticker on it? No.
Read something.
No, this is what I'm reading.
Oh, you wrap all your books now?
You know I hate a wrapped book.
I know.
This is the worst.
I know.
Can't take
The fact
this
you can't take
off.
the dust jacket off will
Ugh.
bore me immensely.
The worst.
No.
That's a good book.
You know, and that's what matters.
That's what matters. All right, we got more segments. We got minefield, recommendation minefield. I know what our segments are called.
Yeah.
We've got recommendation minefield coming up, and then also we got a bunch of comments on TikTok, and so we're going to respond to those. So that's all coming up after this. Welcome back, Chit Chat and Chapters. Austin, Lauren,
Live and in person.
that's right,
Not
baby. And now we cut to a not live person. Nope. We cut to.
We're also not live. This podcast
We're also
is not
live. None of this is live. We cut to a person who, goodness.
A pre-recorded person.
Pre-recorded person. Words are hard. Why do we do this to ourselves? Goodness. I had a friend from when I worked at iHeart Orlando, Kelly V, KSuave115 on Instagram. I messaged him because he talked about how he was reading Project Hail Mary, and he saw all the stuff we were doing, and he was like, this is cool stuff. And I said, hey, we do a segment called Recommendation Minefield. Send us your stuff. And this is what he sent.
Listen, Austin and Lauren, I love what y'all doing with the pod. I go by the name of Kelly, by the way. It's a pleasure to meet y'all. And I just did this video and I went on for too long talking about this whole reading situation. So I'm gonna try to keep it nice and succinct, just into or what I'm into. Like I just finished Project Hail Mary for the second time. Lauren, I know how you feel about it. It's okay. The wife got into it and I never heard the audiobook. So I was like, let me revisit it to get ready for the movie. I just finished the Lost World by Crichton. Of course, I read Jurassic Park before that. Station 11 was like the first book that got me into reading as an adult about a year and a half ago. But I just like a whole bunch of different things, man. Like classics. I've read East of Eden, which I love. I've read The Count of Monte Cristo, which I love. I just finished reading The Stranger by Camus. I finished reading the Iliad over the summer. I just finished reading the Odyssey. Also, other stuff like the biography of Malcolm X, the autobiography of Malcolm X. I absolutely love that book. Also, there's a book about the blues called Blues People by Leroy Jones. That was my jam. So, The Spook Who Sat by the Door, Chain Gang All-Stars, Recursion, Dark Matter, all these different books that are coming to my mind right now. But that's sort of my vibe. I don't really have one place that I like to dwell at too much. I like to expand my horizons. So if y'all can help me, I definitely want to get into the fantasy series. I've heard about a whole bunch that I'm sure y'all will recommend, but I haven't dove into there and found a good entry point yet. So I feel fantasy and maybe like mystery type vibe. I like to go down the path of a mystery every now and again. Or anything y'all feel is like 4 or 5 stars. I'm in there. I'm in there all day. So I appreciate y'all time. Let me know. Let me know.
So, pretty interesting, different reader from both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, very different reader.
Yeah.
The classics?
Oh, he could name more classics than I even existed. I'm gonna be so for real.
It's like he decided, I'm gonna go on my reading journey, and then picked up the junior English list.
Reading list,
and was like, I'm gonna read all these.
Fine.
Which is a great way of like...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really impressed that he went back and read like the Odyssey and went back and read some of these books that are classics for a reason, but have such a major stigma because you read them for school.
No, don't get me wrong. I loved the Odyssey in school. The Odyssey, I took a Shakespeare class in college. I loved all of the Shakespeare plays. Odyssey, Iliad.
Not Shakespeare.
No, but I'm just saying classics in general.
Oh, okay. I was like
the Odyssey,
hold on.
No, yes. I mean, like, I'm just talking Shakespeare, like the classics in general. I loved The Great Gatsby. I loved the Iliad and the Odyssey. I loved all of Shakespeare's works. Like, I read a lot of them through college, but even now, I don't know that I would pick one up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, obviously there are ones like, a lot of people right now are reading George Orwell's 1984.
Yep,
for
Fahrenheit
451. Animal Farm. People are picking up those books right now because of the tumultuous political times that we are in.
Yep.
But I, like, as a guy who's kind of an escapist, I don't know if I would pick those up.
And I mean, like, I also still get so much of that, like, not to, like, small side tangents. Like, I also still get so much of that in the escapism of, like, The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And I love a dystopian novel.
Yeah.
So I'm already getting a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then, so for something to be a little bit more just, like, even older written,
Sure.
like, I don't know that I could get into that right
Yeah,
now.
I don't know. It would be interesting to pick one up and try because there's a reason why
Totally.
people have read this for so long.
Well, and even like Bridgerton. You know,
Sure.
like your Bridgerton, your Journal of Emma, something I've seen a lot going
True,
around.
Liz just read The Scarlet Letter.
Yep.
And loves it.
Oh yeah.
So there's clearly a reason, and maybe this is a thing where you and I try and pick one up
Gonna
to
have to.
see what we're missing.
Yeah.
Curious, what do you think I the safe one would be for me would be The Great Gatsby.
Totally. I have it. It's the
Yeah.
only classic I own.
I loved that book in high school.
Yep.
Um.
I'd also really like to reread The Outsiders.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't love it in high school, and I think I would now as an adult.
Yeah. What's the book with the pigs and the flies?
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Yep.
I think Lord of the Flies would be one. I did not like that book.
We didn't have to. That one was not on the list. It was between that or The Outsiders, and my class picked The
That makes
Outsiders.
sense. That makes sense. They're
Yep.
they're not super simple, but like
But they're
they're the same topic. So yeah, I respect the heck out of that. I also think a lot of classics are pretty dude book heavy.
totally a
Like,
lot of war.
war's kind of big.
Yeah.
In all this.
A lot of war, a lot of royal,
Yeah. Like
a lot of like
like-
history.
I mean, the Odyssey is just a big boat book.
Yep.
Which,
big
as
boat
we
book.
know, boat books are for the boys.
Boat books for the boys. Boat book, dirty book.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, half Shakespeare is either Shakespeare's all royal kings and
Mhm.
whatever, you know. I mean,
100%.
yep.
Yeah, definitely. So good job, Kelly. You've gotten us to go, all right, we need to look into the classics. We need to take a step back. See, instead of looking forward to what's coming in.
Yep.
Take a look at the books that have been here for a long time
Yep.
and have withstood the test of time. I'm not going to recommend any of those to him.
No.
because he's already got that in spades.
Yep.
But, should I just go for it?
We already,
We
the
know
people already
people
know.
know. Recommendation number 1, because he teed it up so perfectly. Stormfront by Jim Butcher, the first of the Harry Dresden series. Listen, don't look at her. Look at me. Look at me right here. Kelly, listen. You asked for an intro into fantasy that you also like mysteries. Like, this is the perfect combination. I stand by the fact that Harry Dresden is the perfect intro into fantasy because the first book has just a sprinkling of fantasy stuff in a world we already know.
No, that's fair.
We know Chicago.
Yep.
We get that. The magic system, not super, it's not super deep, not super in depth. It's basically, I want a thing to happen. I put life force into it. I put energy into it, make it happen.
Yeah.
But it does a really good job of explaining Fae rules.
Yeah.
The idea of, the Fae can't lie, but they also are tricksters.
Yep.
They're going to say
Very,
technically
very traditional fact.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so having this as this story that is also a private investigator who is solving
A
crimes.
normal people job.
Normal people job, doing normal people stuff,
Yep.
while also being able to throw fire at people.
Perk.
It's truly I will recommend it to anyone who will listen. Stormfront
And
has. Correct. Stormfront by Jim Butcher, number 1. It hits all of the things that you want. And if you're into audiobooks, James Marsters is the person that I want to listen to for the rest of my life.
That's fair. I will give you that.
Okay. That's one of my 3.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
For me, I'm going to start things off because you like the classics so much. That tells me that you like the writing and the way things are written really matters to you. So my first one is also going to be kind of that intro into not traditional fantasy, but it's kind of a mystery, but it has a lot of fantastical elements to it. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
I've never read it.
You have to.
I've heard it's so
Especially because
good.
you've read Vicious and Villainous.
Well, hey, let's calm down, because that may be coming up here.
Wonderful. V.E. Schwab is your author.
Yeah.
Because so Invisible Life, it's also a standalone, so you don't have to get into something that's 18 books long if you don't want to.
Never said he had to get to 18. I'm just saying start with number 1.
Let's see how it goes.
I don't like that I'm being attacked for my recommendations here. I didn't even realize I was the one stepping on the mines. Goodness.
This is why we will not be in person. for
That's
every
right,
podcast.
absolutely.
But no, the Incredible Life of Addie LaRue is genuinely the first book that I read where I understood how something can be written a certain way that is just beautiful. That I don't care what I'm reading because of how lovely it's written. Now, it helps that this book also has kind of an air of mystery to it. It also has a little bit of it's very like real life. It's set in everyday dual timeline kind of thing. She goes back and forward and whatever to kind of catch up to where you are in current day. There's a little bit of fantasy to it because the whole concept is that she gets to live forever, but nobody remembers her. So in every life, nobody remembers who she is. So you get a little bit of that fantastical element of being forgotten and a little bit of that mystery because she doesn't understand, she knows why, but she's also looking for a way out of it. Until one day somebody comes along and remembers her.
Ooh.
And that's not a spoiler. Yeah, it's not a spoiler.
You're like, hang on.
So sorry.
Hold on. We gotta bleep something.
But that's right. But that's why she then goes looking for answers. And there's a couple characters in here that add a little bit of that fantasy to it. So I think if you're looking for something that is just really beautifully written, a little dabbles into the fantasy, definitely an air of mystery. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, always. This is, I think, one of my top 3 favorite books of all time.
Nice. V. Schwab is such a fantastic author.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why.
And she's a gem of a person.
Is
I
she?
follow her on social. I've started to some of her stuff is she's a cutie.
Really?
She's so cute. Yeah. She's on the list now that I'd like to meet in person sometime because she's such a cutie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm gonna go with V.E. Schwab as well. Vicious. Vicious is much more of a dude book.
Yeah.
And it's Vicious is the origin story of basically 2 villains who it's the villains duology that V.E. Schwab wrote.
Trilogy. 3rd one's coming out.
I didn't know that. I'm good. Great. I get to reread one of my favorite books I've ever read.
Yep.
And then reread the one that's not as good. But
that means maybe she's fixing things.
Maybe she's fixing things. Absolutely. But Vicious is such an incredible story of showing what most people would think is a good person and why that person probably isn't as good as you think they are. There's a traditional Superman in this book, but you realize he's not Superman. He just isn't. And then there's a guy that, for all the things that we tend to believe as what would be a bad guy, he does those things. But he ends up being the better of the 2 people. And so
I need to read it.
Yeah, you definitely should. And Kelly, you should too. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Read a lot of V.E. Schwab.
Yeah.
I read A Darker Shade of Magic.
Oh, I've heard good
It's very good.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different Londons that that the main character can jump into.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff. V. Schwab, fantastic author.
Fantastic author. Yeah. And a wonderful intro to fantasy.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful intro to fantasy.
Really good
And
at
not traditional
feeding.
Yeah. Well, magic system fantasy rather than just
yes.
Here's your fae and your high lords and your
Yes.
creature fantasy.
Yeah.
More magical fantasy.
Because
which I really
diving right into a thing like A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I definitely thought of.
Totally. I thought
for
Fourthwing.
Yeah, absolutely. Diving headfirst into those is kind of
It's a
tough
lot.
if you don't have something like a V.E. Schwab
Yep.
or a Jim Butcher to kind of start that.
Yep.
If you're really into those kinds of movies, great.
Totally.
Jump right in.
Yep.
But if you don't read that sort of stuff, or if you don't watch those movies necessarily, then there's gonna be
It's a jump.
it's jarring.
Yep.
You're like, this is so not real.
5%. What? No dragons? Damn.
Boo.
So.
Okay, so it's 2 for me.
Yep. So my next one, I'm going to go with The Nightingale, Kristen Hanna.
You just read this.
I just read this one.
Yeah.
So this is another book that, again, that beautiful writing. I stuck a lot heavier.
Read it.
Isn't it gorgeous?
So beautiful.
It's the 10th year anniversary of it, and so it's gorgeous. Um, I needed a pretty edition for me to finally pick it up. I knew that if it wasn't something like this, then I'd be too afraid. Wouldn't actually pick it up. But like a lot of mine stick with the just beautiful writing is kind of what I grounded my suggestions in. But again, this is a travel book is what I want to like kind of, it's a historical fiction. So again, it's kind of that rooted in reality. Because it is historical fiction. It's Paris, Nazi invaded Paris, that time frame. But the writing in it is just so gorgeous. It parallels a lot of the classics. And I think, you know, while yes, if you're not like, the fantasy is one side of things, but I think to have something that is just like, this will be the next classic. This will be the, and I can say that so confidently that, you know, kids growing up, this will be required reading. Man. It's just
wow,
gorgeous. It's so powerful that I think you'd really like it.
There you go. Absolutely. My last one is a book I haven't read.
Good for you.
It is purely
Full send that, man.
Purely all vibes. Piranesi by Susanna Clark. It has 4.21 a 4.21 rating on Goodreads with 478,000 ratings.
Amazing.
So, and the reason why I am thinking of this book is because he very clearly has really enjoyed the Odyssey, the Iliad, a lot of like, I would imagine like ancient Greek stuff, ancient Roman stuff would be right up his alley. And that's what this vibe is. Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite. Its corridors are endless. Its walls are lined with thousands upon thousands of statues, each one different from all the others. Within the labyrinth of halls, an ocean is imprisoned. Waves thunder up staircases. Rooms are flooded in an instant, but Piranesi is not afraid. He understands the tides as he understands the pattern of the labyrinth itself. He lives to explore the house. There's one other person in the house, a man called the Other, who visits Piranesi twice a week and asks for help with research into a great and secret knowledge. But as Piranesi explores, evidence emerges of another person, and a terrible truth begins to unravel, revealing a world beyond the one Piranesi has always known. And I believe Piranesi is a satyr. So, based on the cover, Piranesi is a satyr. That it feels like it's up my alley.
Yeah.
And it feels like it would be up Kelly's alley.
That's a good one. And that makes me kind of want to change my third one.
Oh.
That kind of makes me kind of want to change my
Why?
third one. So, originally, I was going to do Where the Crawdads Sing.
Okay.
This was
You love this book.
I do. This is where Reese's Book Club pick. This was one that my dad actually heard about on the radio because of it being a Reese's Book Club. Like they were talking about it on, I think probably KFAB. Who knows? One of his radio, and he's like, I think your mom and you would really enjoy this. Right. And my mom was like, I'm not gonna read it. I'm like, okay, well, he bought it for me, and I'll pick it up eventually. I eventually did, and it is about a girl that lives in the marsh.
Okay.
And how some things happen and she has to kind of like adapt to society, and the counterbalance of the repercussions of something that happens in this town that doesn't involve her, doesn't not. She meets a boy that actually kind of understands her and like her world and her life and that dynamic. And so it's very much a coming of age story, but it's also like, again, just gorgeous writing. And I just felt very grounded in a really nice way that I think sometimes like you can have an escape like this where it just, the writing pulls you into this world. And like, I could so vividly see the boat that she gets on and where her house is and what it looks like. And this boy that she's talking to and the town and her walking through, like you can so vivid, like the imagery is just stunning. But then it almost kind of grounds you too, instead of lifting and taking you. Like, I feel like fantasy has this ability to lift you out and take you into something where something like this grounds you and just pull and really centers you in a gorgeous way. So I was going to say this, but I would be remiss now with all of your suggestions to not also throw out Shield of Sparrows.
Oh, yeah. You really like Shield of Sparrows.
I really like Shield of Sparrows. And that's a journey book.
Yeah.
That's the first book is a journey book. Second book comes out.
Is Shield of Sparrows the one where it's her and a horse go? What was the
Her and a horse?
There was a whole...
Austin, what are you reading?
No. We did one of the reviews.
Oh yeah, the main guy's name is Ransom.
Main guy's name is Ransom.
The main guy's name is Ransom.
Okay, there was one that you did where someone reviewed it as Girl with Horse.
Girl with Horse. Yes, it is that one.
Ha
Yes, it is.
I was right.
Because she's
Locked
on a
in.
horse for like half the book. She learns to ride a horse for like half the book.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's a much lighthearted. It's a lot more lighthearted, fun read. It's book 1. Book 2 is coming out this year. So it's more like modern day journey telling.
Yeah.
More current events. Again, that little dose of fantasy because there are some like special abilities and things like that.
Sure.
This one has a lot of magical creatures rather than necessarily the people being overly magical. They are just like humans. It's not like you're not living in a fae world,
Sure.
but you have a lot of magical creatures. Instead of a tiger, it's a like bigger, badder version of a tiger. Those types of things.
Got more teeth and stuff.
Exactly. It's got scales, those.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Very scary things. But yes, I mean, like, I love that. I love that one as well. And I think, if you're looking for a little bit more of the romance, that's another.
Nice.
It's a good journey. Good journey.
Yeah. So there you go, Kelly. Hope you read those. And for anyone else listening, feel free to send us a video on either of our Instagrams or Chit Chat and Chapters Instagram or TikTok, I guess.
Yep.
Might as well. We follow us all over the place there. But send us a video, leave a comment of what you look for in a book, and we will give you recommendations. And there's a 96% chance that one of mine is going to be a Jim Butcher, Harry Justin book. Everyone should read the series. End of story. All right, we've got some TikTok comments that we're going to comment back on after the break. It's Chit Chat Chapters back after this. We're back, Chit Chat Chapters. Austin, Lauren, back at it. This time, reading your comments.
Fun.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to our TikTok, we only post podcast clips. And so I always struggle with like responding to comments because unless there's one in here that I responded to and you'll understand why, but like it's hard to differentiate whose voice it is.
That's true. And as we've noted, we have very different. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the idea of like, oh, this could be Austin or Lauren.
That's fair.
This makes it a little easier. Now we can just post the video right to their comment.
And then you can just be like, gotta watch the next episode to find out.
That's it. That's exactly
Open you in.
Yes. Marketing, baby. Okay. Let's start off with we did a clip about Nora Roberts. I read the Nora Roberts book, and we got a couple of comments from people who clearly are very similar to my mom in the way that they're a little bit older than us and have read a lot of Nora Roberts.
Yeah.
This from Allie G. I love Nora Roberts. I have loved her since high school, and I'm currently 45. Her writing rarely misses for me. Also great and overlooked by younger peeps is Sandra Brown. Don't know who Sandra Brown is, but now I'm gonna have to start looking it up. And then another person, Andy Co 907, says, I think Nora Roberts is overlooked by newer readers because she is so mainstream, but she is so popular for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
well, that, and I mean, like, I think it's also a case of just marketing. I
absolutely.
mean, her books are in with the Danielle Still, also very super popular, where you have people like James Patterson, who's done a really good job of rebranding his covers and things like that. So like if you look at one of his covers from his older books that came out the same time as like some of Nora Roberts' real original art, he's redone the covers and republished them. Where she never really has.
Not really.
And so like it just they're in different parts of the bookstore, even though realistically like she should be in with a lot of the authors that I'm reading. Absolutely. And she just isn't there. And so I think that's kind of I want to start reading some of her stuff and go back to my mom's bookshelves and pull a couple because definitely a mom author.
It would be really interesting to see them try and rebrand a little bit because the stories are great. The books are fantastic, but it is missing a newer audience. And that's kind of the beauty of what book talk and book marketing has kind of become, is that you can take an older book and I can't remember what band it was. Was it like, was it Blink 182? I can't remember. There was a rock band that put out a song that they put out in like the early 90s
Oh,
and
yeah.
claimed that working on something new, posted a song that
Yep.
everybody already knew, but then all of a sudden got a flood of new
I
listeners.
mean, Fleetwood Mac, the same thing kind of happened with the Chains coming back
Absolutely,
around. Like,
100%.
yeah.
So the opportunity's there.
Mhm.
It's just, does she need to? I mean,
Right.
I bet Nora Roberts makes bank.
Oh.
I think she's doing all
I
right
think
for
she's
herself.
fine. Yeah.
I don't think she needs to hit a new milestone if she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But
But she could.
I do like these books.
Yeah.
So I agree. This one from the Butcher and Blackbird. I don't like Butcher and Blackbird was the hot take.
Yep.
Misty Noel Muselic says, yes, the audiobook is key. I was reading it initially and struggled after the third game when they were at Theon's house. The audiobook is what really changed it for me. So she also went on to say it's also the passion and banter between the two characters, which is much better for like the audiobook.
For the audiobook.
It naturally lends itself to that banter.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was reading the book,
Yeah, if you're not into it, the characters aren't going to be as much either. They're not going to have that like chemistry.
that's a
kind of.
great way of putting it. If you're not into it, the characters aren't going to be into it.
Characters are in your head.
Yeah.
So they're only gonna be because I actually completely forgot that I finished a book because it was so cringy. It's so cringy.
Yeah.
And I think the reason it stayed so cringy was because it started cringy in my head.
Ah.
And I couldn't break out of that.
Interesting.
And so like there were a couple things in it that just really right off the bat didn't rub me right and I couldn't pull myself out of it. And so the entire book was just like and I did finish it because like it was a cute enough storyline that I was invested in it. But like I skipped a lot of the like spicy chapters because it was so cringy. It was
Really?
so bad.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never really thought of it that way. Like it is so interesting. There was one comment, or I commented on someone's video and they were like, you want me to read a book? Here are the things I need. And one of them was like, I think the main character is hot. And I commented, that's a you choice.
For sure.
For
sure.
And the person was like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You are correct.
Ben and I literally had this discussion last night because he's reading The Hunger Games.
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about some of the characters. And we talked about Finnick, who doesn't come until the second book. But people know him very much because, I mean, he's a very popular actor.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, do you understand what Finnick looks like? And he's like, no, my brain doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm. Man.
You read entire books and you don't know what the characters look like?
All right.
I am confused. But I also now understand why you don't like to read.
Do you remember our whole conversation
About
Zayden?
Zayden?
Zayden Rorson? And how
Yeah.
it was so not what the book
Yeah.
says he is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm on Ben's side.
Wild. Wild.
Yeah, there's definitely a part of that where
Yeah.
it's like, if I don't immediately get a sense of what this character looks like, even if there are descriptors there.
Sometimes they're better than they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Sometimes leaving a little bit more to the imagination, just giving off vibes. Like, because that's what I think of with Zayden Rorson. Of like, I understood the vibe of Zayden Rorson.
Right.
But then I got to kind of fill in the blanks of what he looks like.
You took
Listen,
creative liberty.
I filled in those blanks. All right. Zayden Rorson with a
style.
mullet and a mustache.
So bad.
So
But all that to say that, like, I do agree that then the audio can really help with that because I also completely think that's why I listened and enjoyed Lights Out as much as I did. Because I haven't done Butcher and Blackbird,
right.
But like Lights Out has that banter and you can really feel the chemistry between the two narrators. And I think that's then when you get to kind of the icky stuff of a dark romance that I never sets right with me.
Yeah.
You don't mind it as much because the characters are, because it's part of their world, the narrators are able to play it so much more lighter. Yeah. Which sounds really weird for a dark romance.
No. I
But
totally understand what you're saying.
They play it so much lighter because that's part of their life.
Yeah.
So
It's
then
not
it
dark
reads,
to them.
Right. So it doesn't read dark. So then you get to stay invested in the humor and the lightness and their relationship and like their world. It's just easier.
That makes me question how much longer it is till I get Lights Out. I've been on the wait list for months now. I'm going to check Libby real quick.
I'm so proud of you. How much longer do you have for
good
first time caller?
First time caller. I am second in line. So
close.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't.
You didn't even put it on hold. Austin.
I know why. I tried to listen to it on Spotify, but Liz had used up all of
Oh, the credits.
credits for the month, so so I need to just
You
put
need
it
to just
on
put it on hold.
Okay. Okay. This one was talking about DNFs. I said that a DNF has earned a 1 star. If it's bad enough, whatever. Bobo says, I agree DNFs should not be rated. So agreeing with you. It's like looking at a corner of a painting and then saying it was bad. That is a very interesting take that I disagree with wholeheartedly.
See, I just think like, and I kind of said this when we did our rating that
Mm.
like, I think maybe if it's like a after 50% and you DNF it, then it gets an automatic 1 star.
Sure.
Because I very much agree with that. Looking at a corner of a book, I mean, shoot, like with The Nightingale,
Mhm.
if I had DNF'd it at like 5 or 10%, whatever, that book gets significantly better.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't give it that chance, then like you might just be misunderstanding something. And so like, I would hate to bring a book like that down all the way just because either I'm not in a good place to read it. And especially as a mood reader, I think that is also something like your rating system should reflect that if you're a mood reader, that like, this also just may not have been the right time for me to read that book.
Yeah.
Where like, if you're just looking at a corner of it, where if you're looking at like half the painting and you're like, hey, this painting kind of sucks.
Yeah.
1 star.
And I think that's the big difference because I tend to agree with the statement of you can't look at the corner of a painting and decide if the whole painting is bad. I will say that there is a threshold of a book where I don't know what the percentage would be. It would be different for every book.
Yeah.
But you're into the story. I think is the statement that I can say. If you are into the adventure or you know what the problem is, we have gotten to the point where we have met the main character and we understand what this book is going to be, and you don't like it, it's good enough for a 1 star. If that's 10% of the way in, I think that's well enough earned. If I am not invested enough to get me in to continue that story, I think
Then why give it a star? If you're not invested enough to get into the story, then why give it a star?
because there's not a 0-star rating.
There is. You just don't rate it.
No. That once again, we go back to the thing. If it's a bad book, I want people to know it's a bad book.
But you don't know if it's a bad book.
I do know it's
just because you can't get invested into it doesn't mean that it's a bad book.
No. There. Hold on. Don't. I said wrong words. Let me try again. I can tell when a book is well written, but I'm not invested in it.
Okay.
I think that there needs to be a little bit of nuance. I'm being very broad. I can tell when a book is well written, but it's not for me. And with that, I wouldn't rate it.
Yeah, you just put it down.
Just put it down, move on.
Okay.
If I get into the book, I know the story, what the story is going to be. I know the character, and I don't like it because it's poorly written, that's a different story. That's a 1-star read. If I get deep enough into it and the writing is bad, that's worth a 1-star. If I get into it and I don't like the book, but it's clearly well written, I don't know if I'm going to rate it. I might just put it as a DNF and move on.
Like on your show.
Like on a DNF show.
Yeah, I'd flag it and call it good.
Yeah. But most of the time, most of the things that I've run into, there has not been a book that was really well written that I DNF'd because it wasn't my vibe, that wasn't just a 1-star. You know what I mean? Like there.
See, and I think that's the difference. Is like I'm trying to think of the ones that I've DNF'd,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I've DNF'd them because of how much they weren't for me.
Really?
I think I look at them so differently as this isn't for me kind of thing, rather than is this book objectively good or bad? Is what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking of like the books that I DNF last year. Was that one that I got to like 90% and there was the accidental pregnancy and I was fucking like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
There was I think it was meant to be a self-help, but like the entire time she was just running around Italy and it felt very out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
I just DNF'd that, you know? And like the couple that I've DNF'd, I really think it was more like just a personal that like I got to the point where I didn't care about what was happening more than I ever have DNF'd anything because it was really bad. And maybe that's,
but I think
and there's
that's,
no way at
that's
100
part of, that's got to be part of it. If you can't, part of an author's job is to get you invested in it. And if the author does a bad job of getting you invested in it, I think you can rate DNFs higher than 1 star. I think that you can.
No, that's absolutely if you DNF it, it should be a minimum. Like your maximum on a DNF should be a 1 star.
Whew, I don't know.
DNFing it even like
I've DNF'd a book and gave it 2 stars, and the reasoning was it was The Necromancer's House by Christopher Buehlman. The reason why was because I could tell this was really well written. I could also tell it's really freaking gross. And in a perverted way. And because it was well written and it's really gross, I felt very comfortable giving it a 2-star rating of, hey, this book wasn't for me. And I put in the review, this book wasn't for me because of these reasons. However, I can see the value in how well it is written. And I think that there's something to that in reviewing a book, doing an honest review of a DNF. There's something to that.
Yeah. I understand it on like a base. I just don't think I could.
Sure.
I just don't think I could.
I think that's reasonable.
I think the most that you're ever gonna get out of me is rating it a 1 star. Even though I DNF'd it, because it's just genuinely a bad book and everybody should know that it's a bad book.
Sure.
That has a lot of merit and logic behind it. Giving it a 2 star? I mean, I have 2-star books that I think I'd recommend to the right person.
Sure.
And that's such a, then to have...
To also have a book,
a DNF on that? Like...
The scale's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I also very much agree that you can't judge a painting off of the corner. So
yes,
our friend was very accurate.
I think that is an accurate comment. Thank you, Bobo, for the accurate comment. Okay. A lot of people agree with you, by the way. I'm with Lauren, or Jess Hess says I'm with Lauren for sure. If you don't give something a fair, complete shot, you can't give it an accurate rating. Dopamine Dysfunctional says you do not rate a DNF. I'm with her. If you didn't read the book, don't rate the book. And then we had a couple of people talk about when we talked about like quarter stars and rounding and all that sort of stuff. A couple of people gave some responses of that's why I only rate on Storygraph.
Fable.
That's the other one.
Yep.
Tom said that's why I only rate on Storygraph, and JT says Fable has 0.25 increments for this reason, but she's correct. I'm not rounding up.
Thank you! Hell yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
You absolutely kicked my butt when it came to all that.
I kicked your butt on that. I kicked your butt on the DNF.
I'm a complicated man.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Heck yeah. But yeah, no, I've been using Fable a lot more. And the nice thing is you can import your Goodreads to Fable.
Can you?
Yes. And it will do it all for you and everything. Now, that being said, I still do both because, like, me and my Goodreads go back to high school.
Well, and Fable does too now.
Yes, but no. I use Goodreads for the nostalgia, man. And as soon as Fable has the ability to connect with my Kindle and automatically update when I finish books and stuff like that, then I'm done.
Does Goodreads do that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Goodreads will automatically say that you started a book and when you've completed, and on your Kindle you can be like 3 stars.
Whoa.
Send it off into the universe.
All right, that's cool.
It's fantastic.
That's really cool.
Kindles, man.
All right. I've got $300 worth of books to get through. Hang tight.
But all that to say, like, I have been using Fable a lot more, and I like a lot of its features a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I've got one more comment.
Okay.
And this one, we're both going to be really mad about.
Oh, good.
B17 Corrigan says, listening to audiobooks is not reading. To which I responded with, blasphemy, in all caps. And they responded with, well, it literally isn't reading. Hey, B17 Corrigan,
GTFO.
GTFO,
GTFO,
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah, it's not like I do want to say I started to think about this argument, and what I was gonna say would quickly go down a path of like, so you're saying movies are reading?
We're getting into as a hot dog a sandwich kind of conversation.
Yeah,
And I
but-
can't do that.
but I also there's a little bit of me that's like, a movie is kind of a story, is kind of a book.
It is.
A movie is kind of a book. It's kind of reading.
It's script.
It's
It's a script.
scripted. It's a
It's a script.
scripted thing. WWE is now reading.
Yes.
But no, like listening to an audiobook, forcing yourself to use your imagination, I think is all part of the reading process.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Is like it's an accessibility thing.
sure.
That would be like saying watching a movie with subtitles isn't watching a movie. That's your input.
That's absolutely.
Is if you mute a movie and you read all the subtitles,
Mhm.
you've still watched
Still
the
watched
movie.
a movie. Still watched a movie.
Yeah, or I guess if you read the script. If you read the script for a movie, you've still watched the movie. In my world.
That's interesting.
Maybe close. I
That's-
think it's
That's a bit extreme because
I'll say
that's
a little
just
bit more of a
reading.
nuance.
That's
fair.
just reading.
That's just reading. That's just reading. That's fair. But but in that same vein, if you
But I
read,
understand
if you
the-
read
the
the subtitles, if you read like the subtitles on the movie, you've still watched the movie.
Yes.
That's the thing, is reading in the way we talk about it on Book Talk as a book community.
Yeah.
Is the idea of reading, not necessarily the textbook, the Oxford Dictionary definition of it. Because yes, we are intelligent enough to know that if you do not read it, that reading is the act of absorbing words with your eyeballs.
Yes.
Really? We get that.
We
That's not the
understand.
effing point.
Yeah.
An audio book. If you consume that book, audio book, you have read the book. Dictation. If I have a book
Mhm.
and I have something scan the pages and it then gives
Mhm.
that to me as a dictation, have I read the book or have I listened to it?
Mm.
I've still read
Still
the
read the
book.
Yeah.
And it's for
If
me,
you can-
it's a
if you can-
huge for me it's a huge accessibility thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you can't actually read a book and you've listened to it, you've still read a book. Congratulations.
100%. If you can have a conversation with someone who has just physically read the book and you just listen to it, you read the book.
You read the book.
You heard the same story just in a different medium,
Yeah.
and that counts as reading.
And let's not get freaking ticky-tacky
Absolutely.
about, you listened to that book.
Yeah.
Okay, did we not get the same outcome?
100%. Still got the same story.
Yeah.
We're all
I'm sorry
better
that we're
for it.
using, I'm not even sorry about it.
Yeah.
We're using read as a slang term for absorbing the information of a book.
Absolutely. Well done. Well put.
I'm heated about it.
Yeah.
I am passionate.
You
about
should
that.
be.
So passionate about that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, B-17 Corrigan.
GTFO.
Suck it.
GTFO.
And with that, that's going to do it for this episode of Chit Chat and Chapters. Lauren, where can they find you?
Here. They can also find me in my corner of the universe for a change. They can also find me
Point.
on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on the TikToks, on Fable, actually, too, and Goodreads, Lauren's Lifestyle across the board. So,
There you go.
what about you?
Find me on social media that I may or may not use at Radio Guy Austin, at Dice Guy Austin somewhere, on TikTok. I
Eventually.
think that's where I was. But yeah, I don't post a whole lot. I post the stuff on Chit Chat and Chapters. So
Yep.
find me on at Chit Chat and Chapters on
Social guru for that.
Guru. I'm the guy who pushes the button.
That's fair.
That's it. That's it. So be sure to follow us. Like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, give us 5-star reviews, all the things. Tell your friends about the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Lauren, it has been an absolute pleasure having this podcast together in the same room.
Absolutely.
We'll have to
We'll do it again in like another 10 episodes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only on milestones.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only time.
In the milestone, off the rail. Then we can come back on.
Thanks so much for listening. This has been Chit Chat and Chapters. Keep on reading.